This is rule number one. Don't scramble left, throw back into the middle of the field to the right. Because the ball is going to get intercepted. There's 4 guys there. I don't know how he gets that ball to Brandon Ayuk, but that is the style of play that he has.
You got lucky, Brock. That's why. You got lucky. That should have been a pick, Dan. You can't make that throw in the NFL. That was a mistake on first down. Yeah, San Francisco had everything go their way on Sunday here in Jacksonville, including Brock Purdy's worst decision of his career, according to Kyle Shanahan, that worked out to be a touchdown.
Well, we didn't get the turnovers, and they did. Jags turned it over 4 times yesterday. This is one of the backbreakers, and it hurt the Jaguars. But that's all right. The Jags are still 6-3, and we're going to talk about the trouble against San Francisco, look ahead to the division opponents. We got it all going on in sneakers with Rayshawn Jenkins right now on Jags Report Live.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
After the game, someone asked me if they were desperate, and good teams are never desperate. They're just good, and they figure it out, and that's what we're trying to do right now. I still think we're a good football team.
That's an interesting answer from Doug Pederson. I like what he said there. He's probably right. But I can tell you this, San Francisco was motivated to get a W after 3 straight losses, and they got one here in Jacksonville on Sunday in dominant fashion. Welcome to Sneakers in Jax Beach. Hey, we got a nice crowd here. Listen, a lot of football left to be played, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we can look. We got to break down. We're going to talk about the 49ers, and it was no good. I mean, Rayshawn's going to tell us the exact same thing. We're going to hear, it wasn't good enough. But I mean, again, when they were 1-2, when we were in a panic, then they got to 6-2, and we're all happy. We're going to Vegas. Now we get a little dose of reality. It's hard in the NFL, man. It's a week-to-week league. If we don't know that by now, we're never going to know it. So we got to suffer for 24 hours. We'll scream and we'll yell. We'll rant and we'll rave, and then we'll put it behind us, and we'll get ready to go beat Tennessee's.
Yes, easy. We're on TV here.
That's what we'll do.
By the way, I feel like we've worn a shield all day here in Jacksonville, haven't we, since yesterday?
Yes.
On social media, on the radio, on TV. We are deflecting a little bit here.
Yes.
6-3, we'll take it after 9 games. But it certainly wasn't the game plan going in.
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by Everbank. Advantage you. Make the most of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars.
Listen, some will hit the panic button, and I think that's premature. But the bottom line is it's fair to question how good this offense is, and is it ever going to get where they thought it could?
It's a concern now, right? We're 9 games in. They should be better. They got enough talent on that team. They got a lot of good offensive football players. They did not have a good performance up front yesterday. Trevor had a stinkeroo performance as well. Overall, though, they have to get better. They've got to figure out what's working and not working, and they got to make some changes. They got to get some things going here offensively.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. The Jags in Jacksonville are 1-3, and they've got 2 games that really aren't good against Houston and this one against San Francisco. Now, I will say they've offset the home performances with some terrific road performances where they are 4-0, which also is abnormal in the NFL. But at the end of the day, if you want to go to the playoffs, I always think there's 2 keys. Take care of most of your games at home and take care of most of your games in the division. The Jaguars have to pick it up here in Jacksonville the second half, and they got to watch out for those sneaky Texans, Dan.
Yeah, the Texans are playing good football. And by the way, I want to ask Rayshawn. I don't think there's an answer here, but it's one of those fluky things that has happened this year. But 1-3 at home, they're not scoring points. It's weird, but we'll get to him in just a second. C.J. Stroud's playing great football. There's no doubt that Houston hit on him. So, hey, great rivalry in the AFC South for the next 10 years. Let's go. So let's see how it all plays out. But the Texans are a game behind. And listen, again, think back to a year ago where the Jags were. Think back to where they are right now. Think back to how they've played over the last 15 regular season games, and we'll all got to be pretty happy about that. We're just not happy about what happened yesterday.
We will get over it. We're professionals, and we understand that we are where we want to be, but as professionals, we never want to go out there and do that. And I feel like that's why it hurts a little more, because I feel like everybody in the locker room kind of feels it and understand that's not who we are as a team, and we lay the egg.
Well, as we take you back here to Sneakers in Jax Beach, we have a Rayshawn Jenkins jersey. We got to get that thing signed, number 2 in the house. Absolutely. Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Sneakers in Jax Beach for Jags Report Live. Rayshawn Jenkins. All right, we'll get to it. That was a tough one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it is what it is. Those games happen every once in a while here in the NFL, and just like you were talking about earlier, this is a week-to-week basis type of league, and we got to come out prepared to play every week.
Why the struggles at home? Can you put your finger on? It's just weird. I mean, you guys have been so good on the road, and the crowds have been great. Everybody's excited, and well, the offense isn't scoring. I think in the 3 losses, 29 points combined, but it's just odd.
Yeah, I mean, it is very odd. I can't quite put my finger on it, but that's something we're definitely trying to address.
Yeah.
I mean, for us to have a great fan base like this and not be able to win in our home stadium is quite frustrating to us. But I'm pretty sure we'll get things turned around here.
All right, I'm calling this part of the show "Burn the Tape" or "Let It Burn." Which way do you look at it? Do you want this to fester to kind of motivate you, chip on the shoulder, get you angry this week? Or do you just say, get that tape out of my sight?
I mean, I don't think it's something to get angry about. It's just reality. It's just something you have to just own. And, we didn't play good yesterday. It just is what it is. That's the reality of it. But as professionals in this league and as grown men, we have to come in, evaluate the tape, and see what went bad. And now we know as players and coaches where the level of competition and level of play has to be every week, because that was a Super Bowl caliber team, in my opinion. Right. And in order for us to get where we need to be, now we know where our level of play has to be.
You guys have been so good this year on the defensive side of the ball at stopping the run and getting turnovers. That didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah.
Hence, it leads to problems. Did they do anything that surprised you, or was it just players and coaches always like to go, it was a lack of execution?
I would just say they did a good job of doing what they do very well, which is present different looks, and they have so many matchup problems on the offensive side of the ball. They can come out in different personnels where they can have different guys in different positions doing the same thing. So I remember yesterday, a couple instances where McCaffrey was in the backfield and he came out at wide receiver, he came out at slide, and different things like that. So you just really have to be on your A game when you're playing teams like this.
Yeah, when they are clicking, they seriously are dangerous. They've got guys. You forget about Deebo Samuel sometimes. Yeah. That's how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And Deebo Samuel, even guys like Ayuk, I think I'm saying his name.
Yeah,
right?
you got it.
Yes. Number 11.
Underrated player.
A very underrated player, and he presents a lot of matchup problems for the offenses. And it's just they got a lot of players on that team, man. Number 44, which is like a hybrid fullback, running back, tight end.
I say his name, by the way.
I'm not even gonna try that, but no, he did a good job yesterday for them as well. But like I said before, we just know where the level of play has to be, and we have to absolutely address that.
The 49ers showed the power on Sunday, but we did kind of dig deep to find the power play.
Power Play of the Week, sponsored by IBEW Local 177, powering Jacksonville since 1912.
Listen, when you see a game like this, I mean, honestly, Rayshawn, when we watch it, we're like, okay, did anybody play well? And that guy seems to always play well. Number 23, Foye Oluokun, had 2 sacks. You know, he only has 7 sacks in his career. Oh, yeah. He had 2 yesterday. He continues to play pretty good football.
Yeah, that's why he's a captain for a reason. That's why we elected him as captain, and we elected him to, be that spokesman for the defense. He comes out every game with that chip on his shoulder with something to prove, and we're thankful that it's finally getting some national recognition.
What did you think of Purdy? I mean, he had a great game, obviously. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he seems to be able to wait in that pocket and wait as long as he possibly can. What were your thoughts playing back there against him?
Yeah, he does a great job for his team. Yeah. He has a bunch of weapons around him, and he makes just a bunch of good reads all the time. Hats off to him. He's playing very well thus far. And, a lot of the media was trying to, talk about his fourth quarter percentage or QB rating. But, he does a good job for his team.
All right, I wanted you to see this play. And when you watch tape back or in the building today, does this get highlighted at all? It was the turnover play by Christian Kirk. and then they run it all the way back. Now, they would end up calling it back, but Evan Ingram, and then watch Trevor chase him down. I mean, hey, you got the tackle in the end zone. But I wonder about, do we make a bigger deal out of some of the effort plays on that? Because if guys give up on the play, the media would be all over you guys.
Yeah.
Does it mean anything in the building that Evan and Trevor and others are chasing down a play like that?
Yeah,
at the end of the day?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big, your actions speak louder than words, as I would say sometimes. And Trevor, on that play, I'm sitting on the sideline. I'm knowing he's not going to make the play at all. But just to keep seeing him running, I'm like, you know what, that's a guy who cares. So I can definitely appreciate something like that.
Yeah, they got a penalty by having too many people on the field on that play. Got called back anyway. They would later score. Hey, we're not done with Rayshawn Jenkins. We look ahead to the Tennessee Titans and what else this Jags team can do. And also we talk more Trevor. Listen, he said it. It wasn't a good performance. The offense needs to play better. More Trevor talk coming up. We're live at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Jags Report live. We got another home one against the Titans. KJ, look at, he's got the U hat on. He's got the U. That's your guy.
Yeah, you got to love that.
Yeah.
You got to love
that.
Yeah.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Yeah, we're gonna wallow in it tonight, and we're gonna watch the tape tomorrow and kind of relive it, which is gonna suck. And then we're gonna move on, and we're gonna get ready for Tennessee. I mean, that's the biggest game of the year is our next one.
All right, we are back at Sneakers. We're talking about the Niners. We're going to look ahead to the Titans. Rayshawn Jenkins is our guest. Love having him here. How was the film session today? Like, what was it tough? Was it like, what's that like going through as a player?
Oh yeah, it was tough. Like we said earlier, to have the game go down in that fashion and have to go back and just relive, some of those plays. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie, but it's something that's needed in order for us to grow as a team.
I was thinking that's a different world. They do that in football more than they do that in any part of business or anything else. Imagine every day coming in and watching what you did or did right at work for 8 hours.
Do you guys do that in groups? Like, do you do positions or do you watch it all together?
We start off, we watch it all together.
Yeah.
We watch maybe like the first half all together, and then we break off and we watch the second part of the game. Just amongst like the units of each, the position groups of each unit, and I'll tell you, just watching in front of everybody, you know when a good play or a bad play is about to happen. Trust me, you watched it a few times over.
Well, if you had the fans in the front of that room, they'd be yelling at you and cursing at you just to let you know. But like, do the coaches like say, I mean, it's unacceptable, but they're not like, are they like mad?
It's that little. It's like in between. Of course they have to be
stern.
Yeah, it's very stern. So of course they have to, address the problem at hand. But at the end of the day, it's something that happened, and we can only move forward from there. And it's plenty of football left, and our goals are still right in front of us. We just can't have something like what happened yesterday happen again.
Right. Yeah, you can't snowball it. And you guys have handled that very well. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Trevor Lawrence, listen, I think everybody around here knows he's the guy. He's the franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Just didn't play well, Dan. I mean, had a rough day. But like we said, I mean, it all fell apart on offense, didn't it?
It just really did. I mean, it just looked disjointed. Rayshawn, when you're watching the game, it just didn't look like they're running the offense like they're capable of. The offensive line didn't play particularly well. There weren't a lot of lanes to run in for ETN. The receivers didn't seem like they were getting open. Lawrence would maybe look at the wrong. It seemed disjointed. What from the sidelines? What do you see?
I mean, from the sidelines,
you're worried about the defense.
Yeah, we were about the defense, but I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
It was times I was looking at the jumbotron and he was holding the ball for a little bit too long, so I'm like, is anything open? It goes to stuff like that, and it's the NFL, man. Things like this happen. We're playing against other professionals.
Oh yeah.
It is what it is. You're gonna run into games like this, and like I keep saying, we can only go up from here. I can promise you, like that won't happen again.
Right. Yeah, fumbles are piling up for Trevor Lawrence, and we're not bringing down here to hammer him. But so from the other side of it, as a defender, that you're looking to do this.
Oh,
at
absolutely.
everybody that's holding the football. So it obviously becomes paramount for the offensive guy to hang on to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for San Fran, they did exactly what they needed to do. And if I'm their defensive coordinator, at the end of the day, that was a great defensive game for me.
Right.
And, I mean, they were able to hold us to 3 points. And anytime you can do that, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're 1 or 2 in the league. So that was a great performance on that end. So hats off to those guys. On our end, we may need to be able to help our offense out a little bit more.
Well, you will not win a game if you're -4 in turnovers. You just won't. Not in the NFL.
You can't do it. It's statistically impossible. It was almost statistically impossible to find, well, anything good on offense. But look at turnovers for Trevor now. 6 interceptions, 7 fumbles, 4 lost. But if you go to his career, it's 53 touchdowns and 49 lost, skewed by that rookie year, which was tough.
Right.
So there's no doubt there's a bunch of emphasis in the building this week on the offensive team meeting rooms to hang on to the football, Dan.
Kind of hoping it's the kind of game like he had in London last year when you guys lost to the Broncos. It was disconsolate after the game. He threw the pick at the end. He wanted to drive him down for the win. And after that, the switch was flipped, and he played great football the second half of the season. I think he had 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. So we're heading into the second half now. I expect him to play great football the rest of the way, and I'm sure you guys do too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we completely 100% believe in 16. There's no doubt about it. I mean, like I keep saying, there's – games like that happen, and he just continues to grow as a football player. So, this is just another learning situation, learning curve for him. And I'm pretty sure he owns up to everything. So, that's one thing I love about 16, man. So, I have no problem.
We did find a drive of the day, believe it or not, on offense.
All right.
Yeah.
The drive of the day, driven by your local Ford dealers.
Line, Dan.
Yeah.
And when they did that, they're down 10-0.
Right.
He had fumbled. The defense stopped. Then they pinned him deep. And this was a heck of a drive. It ended up going like 14 plays, 80 yards, 7 minutes off the clock. Ended with a field goal. But to be honest with you, if you come off your 1-yard line and end up with a field goal, that's pretty good.
I think that's fine. And it was a great drive, and they just didn't have more of that consistency is what they need to find. And this was like the 5th drive. And I think Doug Pederson said today, Rayshawn, we can't wait till the 5th drive to have something like that. Just that goes back to the execution part, though. We have the wrong checkoff, somebody doesn't hear a signal, and things like that, and all of a sudden you're behind the chains and you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, especially playing a team like that with their first 15 plays, they're going to start off fast.
Yeah.
They're going to start off hot, fast. Their first 15 are more than likely scripted, just like every other team. And we just have to just match their intensity or have them match our intensity. And like you just said, we can't wait till the 5th drive to get things started.
You guys have had some outstanding defensive performances. Can you notice almost right off the bat of a game when you say, we've got some advantages here against the team, or they're disjointed, or they're not put together? Can you almost tell that?
Oh, yeah. So if we just come out and, our formula is takeaways, our formula is high energy, and things like that. When we come out and we're able to jump on guys early like that, it'll be a rough day for those guys. And yesterday we kind of started off, a bit slow, but we started to get things together, but just the flow of the game was just kind of, you know what I mean? So it was just hard to just stay in that.
That was interesting. Josh Allen said the same thing, and you're saying the same thing. The rhythm of the game, you can kind of feel the ebbs and flows, but it never got in a good enough rhythm for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. First down and explosive plays. Those are big. We talk a lot about third down, I think, in the National Football League. Yesterday, it was first down. The Jags offensively, Dan, the 4 yards per play is skewed.
Right.
There was one play to Christian Kirk for 39 yards.
Right.
So do the math. 21 plays.
Oh, boy.
And what's that, 49 yards combined?
Yeah.
But look what happened, Rayshawn, on the other side. You talk about a scheme, and when they were clicking, I mean, they were almost averaging 8 yards a play on first down. You're in for a long day if that's happening.
Oh, yeah, because you got to think about it. If you can't stop a team on first or second down, that means when they get to third down, it's more like, if they get to third down, it's more than likely a 3rd and short, to where, it might be a 3rd and 1, a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 3, which are just high percentage plays. And, it's just kind of just unsustainable for a defense. And, you can maybe stop on once or twice here or there, but for the most part, if they're always in that situation, it's going to be a hard day for you.
Yeah, and it was on Sunday for everybody here in Jacksonville, but sunshine and rainbows still exist.
Okay. All right.
Hardest one of the year.
Okay.
But we've had a good run around here on this now. So we'll find something. And we'll do that next. When we come back, we're live at Sneakers in Jax Beach, hanging out with Rayshawn Jenkins. We appreciate him being here. We look forward to that Tennessee Titans game. Talk more with Rayshawn coming up right here on Fox 30.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, sunshine and rainbows. This was tough. We almost turned it into a cloudy picture instead.
It is cloudy.
It's been dreary this week anyway.
Yes.
Yesterday kind of fit the performance, didn't it? So we got some clouds, right? It's going to rain.
Yeah.
Florida's going to keep raining this week a little bit.
All right.
60 degrees feels like it's cold.
All right.
But how about a little love for Dearness Johnson? He got in there now. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, it was nice.
When he touches the ball, I feel like good things happen.
Rayshawn, they got to find someone to spell ETN a little bit. I mean, he had so many touches through those first 8 games. Somebody else has got to get the ball, and he did well.
Yeah, he did very well. So I mean, we were on the sideline talking about it. We were like, Dearness is a nice change up for ETN, and if we can find a way to get him just more touches throughout this season, I mean, I think that'll go pretty well for us.
Yeah, and he's a veteran and a good special teamer. And the reason we have Darius Williams on there, we have no idea how he graded out or how he played, but he kept Christian McCaffrey out of the end zone on the last play.
Oh yeah, that was So we were wondering. It was like a bit of a suspicion when everybody went out and just McCaffrey was in, and me and Foye looked at each other and we was like, they're trying to get the record. And we were like, yo, everybody just pay attention and key in on McCaffrey. Whatever you do, I don't care. I don't care how the game has gone so far. Do not let him score.
That was great.
Don't let him score.
But you guys have all said, and it's been an interesting response. We wondered, was that unsportsmanlike or anything like? You guys didn't mind that?
No, I didn't mind that at all, because you got to understand, if that's my guy on my team, I'm doing the same thing. Okay. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go in the record books. I'm trying to be historic, and that
ankle got rolled. Oh, the coach would have got killed.
Oh, yeah. That's the
absolutely right.
That's the calculation there. You got to be careful.
That's the one risk that you take.
Absolutely. That's the risk reward. It's risk reward to everything.
Doubt.
Well, hey, congratulations to you, by the way, Rayshawn Jenkins. You hit the century mark in games played in the NFL.
Oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a big deal, man. I mean, you played a long time now in this league.
Yeah. Man, it's just truly a blessing, man. I give all the glory to God, and honestly, I didn't even think I was at 100 games. I wasn't even thinking about it, honestly. When they came up to me with the 100 game ball, I was like, 100 games? I thought I was on like 80 or something like that. So it was just.
That doesn't mean you're getting old.
Yeah, but,
you're getting better with age.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
But when you started your career, seriously, you mapped this thing out. Did you have a vision of how long you would play in the NFL?
I for sure thought, about like 10 years or something like that.
Oh.
But I mean, as you get older in this league and start to just really realize how much 100 games is, it's just, that's a lot of games. So, man, like I say, man, I give all the glory to God, and, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, congratulations to you playing good. That's good to see. All right, you got a concert coming up. Explain this whole deal to us later in the month.
Yeah. So me and Nardo Wick, he's a actually artist from this area, Jacksonville, Duval County. And me and him kind of collaborated on this concert that we're doing in Tampa, and it's going to be just great. And I got some of my artists coming to perform and be a part of that, and my label and my brand just to be a part of that as well.
So this is part of life after football, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just something I enjoy doing, man. This is one of my hobbies. This is something I'm really passionate about outside of football, along with a few other things, real estate and stuff like that. Yeah. But, this is just another thing, that keeps the juices flowing.
What we have here are two great singers.
Yes, we
on
do.
Stage tonight, I think. So.
Well, you'll hear it later. Believe me. I think. Are we doing that?
Two great singers. What we have here, Rayshawn.
Hey, what about being a dad, man? What's it like?
Man, it's great, man. It's something I look forward to every single day, man. That's my daughter Blaze right there. My son Ace. Man,
wait, there's another Ace?
Ace?
Yeah, Ace. Yes, yeah, that's his name.
Every kid in Jacksonville named Ace?
Hey,
it's amazing.
Might be.
Hamilton's kid is Ace.
I think they recruited us all. Like they actually. No, but
that's great.
No, but I look forward to it every day, man. And I definitely appreciate them, and just making it, just fun and interesting every day I wake up.
So. How old are they?
7-4.
See, so that's
good
cool,
ages.
right? Because
absolutely.
they know what Dad does.
Yeah.
Then they think Dad's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So, I mean, my daughter, it just is what it is with her.
Yeah,
She's the 4-year-old, so she's like, yay, Daddy, go. But my son is getting at the age to where his classmates, his teammates, and all the other sports are, they recognize who I am and everything like that. And, it makes him proud. So there's a sense of, it's just great there.
Yeah, we wish our kids would do the same, but they don't even watch us. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't even care.
Yeah, they really don't care. Hey, thanks for joining us. Rayshawn's going to hang out for a little bit here at Jags Report Live at Sneakers and Jax Beach.
Rayshawn!
And when we will visit with him one more time and ask him about the Tennessee Titans coming up. So that is next here on Fox 30, live from Sneakers in Jax Beach. KJ.
Thank you, KJ.
Yeah, doing a good job. Got a baby.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Dobbs is hit from behind. The ball's out. They're calling this a fumble at the moment, and the return by Allen for the touchdown.
Coming up in the second half of the year. What a magical ride. It was about now, maybe even a couple weeks from now, where the Jags really started to take off last season. Just build toward that once again, Dan.
Yeah, and I think we got to appreciate what they did last year. I know it's in the past, and we're on to this year, and we're 6-3, and life is good. But I thought of this yesterday when the Jags got down 20-3 to San Francisco. I thought, we got them right where we want. We're 17 down. They were 17 down against the Raiders. They were 17 down against the Cowboys. They were 17 down against the Chargers. It didn't fade. That's an awful tough task to come back from against good teams, and we learned a little of that yesterday.
Absolutely.
So don't get 17 down.
Yeah, don't get used to that.
Yeah.
Rayshawn Jenkins, you just saw him here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. We'll visit with him in just a moment. But first, let's talk about this upcoming schedule. And now we all know it's big. It's funny how a win or a loss changes everything. At the outset, you'll take 6-3. But now that they lose and Houston's playing well, these next couple of games before a December gauntlet, Dan, is paramount.
I think we're in a six-pack, okay? Forget the last three. I think the six-pack is there in front of us. And I think, if you can somehow go 4-2 in this six-pack of games, you'll be in great shape. But we were talking to Rayshawn in the break, and he's going to tell you, the next two are huge games.
Yeah,
I mean, those divisional games, one's at home, those are really big. And you can do that every Sunday, obviously, but they're big, man.
They're a big game, but the Jags are the better team. So what are the keys to winning over the Titans?
Your keys to the game, sponsored by Greenway Kia.
All right, so here you go. I mean, you got Will Levis playing. You got a rookie quarterback, and this is a guy that's playing different than C.J. Stroud. It's back-to-back weeks of a rookie quarterback.
Got to give him different looks, got to confuse him, got to get after him. Titans O-line's not very good this year, so hopefully they can get after the quarterback and get those pressures going again.
And Derrick Henry from Yulee, of course, he's been awesome over his career. He hasn't been really awesome this year, and the Jags stopped the run well, so it kind of plays into their hands.
But I will say he is a second-half guy, right? He gets going in the second half, and it's his kind of time, and he loves playing the Jags. So, listen, he's a big man. I mean, Rayshawn will tell you, he ain't a fun guy to tackle.
The Jaguars season turned around last year. Trevor Lawrence put on a show against the Titans. It was 368 and 4 touchdowns. Can he get that back coming up here this Sunday at the bank against the Tennessee Titans? Obviously a critical game. What you got to be careful of is to look ahead to the Houston one.
Right.
You got to take care of business first to set up
Get to
the
7-3.
Game.
That's key.
All right. Let's bring Rayshawn Jenkins back in as he signs some autographs, take some pictures with the folks here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. And talk about the Titans, man. That's a memory that you'll always have around here from last year. You swept them, but you got to go get them again.
Yeah, man, this thing is year to year. So, we did a good job against them last year, but at the end of the day, it's a new year. And, this is our first meeting this year. And, in reality, both of the teams are 0-0 right now in terms of playing each other. So we have to really just enter the game with a mindset of knowing the importance of how, this game can affect our season.
Two of the biggest plays you had last year, obviously, in Jaguars history, Rayshawn. But now it's a new year. But one thing's the same with the Titans. Derrick Henry, that's somebody you probably don't really look forward to playing because you got to go up and tackle that big son of a gun.
Yeah, no, he's huge, man. Just like you say, it's always a hard days of work when Derrick Henry's on the field,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you have to get in that mindset and really be willing to come up and stick your face in the fan. So that's something we have to do as a defense. We have to set the tone that way, and we have to, at the end of the day, make it known that we're not having any of that Derrick Henry madness around
Right.
here.
Rayshawn, one more for you. This team has shown the maturity, mental toughness to bounce back. You got blown out against Detroit. You won 5 in a row last year. You get blown out here at home against Houston. You win 5 in a row in 5 different stadiums. What is it about the makeup of the football team in there that gives you a lot of confidence that you're bounce back again this week?
I mean, we know what type of team we are, and we know how good we can be, and we don't want to, have this season go to waste of just, drowning in our sorrows. So, of course, a game happened like that yesterday. It is what it is. Own it. And get over it and know that there's, like I said earlier, there's a lot more football left. And, this just last stretch of the season is very critical and important to our season. And we have to really just get it done. And we know that there's divisional opponents coming in here. We know that we still have, a bit of the AFC, where's that, the AFC North coming in here. And, yeah, man, it'll just be a true test to our football team. And if we can get this thing done, then we know where we are.
Thanks, Rayshawn. Appreciate you joining us here on this Monday night. Sneakers in Jax Beach for Jags Report Live. And good luck on Sunday against the Titans. And, hey, get better as you go, right? Get better as you go for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's bring in Action Sports Jax Stuart Weber. He has more on those bad losses that turned into winning streaks, and we hope that theme continues.
So often in sports, it's not about if you get knocked down, it's if you get back up afterwards. And the Jacksonville Jaguars did just that earlier this season. After a bad loss to the Houston Texans, well, they bounced back and rattled off 5 straight wins. Now, I'm not saying the Jaguars are going to win their next 5, but if they've proven anything from earlier this season, as well as after the Detroit loss a year ago, sometimes a humbling loss can turn into positive results the next week.
We get our butt whooped like that, we have to respond. This is something we have to respond to, and we got the right guys that know that, so we'll figure it out.
Backs against the wall, we fight. That's not the type of football team that we want to be right there. So let's start fighting. Let's start working to be better. Good opponent coming in next week. I'm ready to work.
I think it's going to be a game like this every year, not because you want it to be, but just happens. I think last year Detroit beat the out of us. This year San Fran beat the out of us. We'll get better. We'll come in, we'll watch it. We know what we need to fix. We'll fix it and we'll get better at it.
I think we should all be pissed. But at the end of the day, man, we have 6 more games left, 5 more games, 8 more games left. We got 8 more games left. And we've been in this position before. Hate to be in it. Don't expect to be in it, but we're here. So we got to come back and win.
And for the Jags, it is important to bounce back because this next one, it's an AFC South matchup against the Tennessee Titans right back here inside Everbank Stadium. For Action Sports Jax, I'm Stuart Weber.
Plenty of games left. That's right, 8 of them.
And the playoffs.
Hey, what's on the menu? Dan's hungry.
Oh, yeah.
And what are we doing there?
I don't know.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you when we come back here on Jags Report Live. Live at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Rayshawn Jenkins, good hanging out with him. Always tough coming off a loss like that, but he's been awesome and hanging out with us on a Monday. He'll be back, by the way, in December as well for another show. We'll be right back.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Definitely mad as hell. First and foremost, obviously we just played, so that those emotions are still inside of us. I think we should all be pissed.
We're able to own it. When we come out and we get outplayed and we get beat, we got outplayed, and we own that. We just get better from it.
Got our whooped. I'm very pissed off, and a lot of guys are pissed off, but we're going to learn from this, and we're going to respond to this.
You kind of like an angry locker room, right? I think the fans feel better when they hear that from the players. And Dan feels better when he sees this coming.
Bring on the soup dish, bring on the cup, bring on the bacon and eat it up, because it's supper. Super pepper upper, supper time.
Hey, sign them, Rayshawn. Sign them on your label right there.
Oh,
By the way, those are loaded fries right there, man. Those are looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Every time on a Monday I come in, I want to start my diet, and then they put this in front of us all the time.
Crispy.
They were good. Welcome back. While Dan eats, I talk. Jags Report live here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Glad to have you along. When you lose a game like this, a lot of questions get raised. And one of the big ones today, play calling. Press Taylor, right? Doug Pederson, should he be calling plays? I mean, is this really a topic? Should it be a topic with the offense not playing up to its capability? When they announced this at the opener, remember, that's when the word came out that Press was calling plays.
Well, listen, it's all on Doug, right? This is Doug's football team, so whatever he decides is what is going on, and he believes in Press Taylor. He wants Press Taylor to call the plays. Press Taylor calls the plays, but they got to sit down and, like he said, hey, we all got to look in the mirror. We all got to figure out what's going on. We all got to, it's not just the players, it's the coaches as well. Are they putting Trevor in the right positions? Are they doing what they're good at?
Yeah, here's the thing. I believe you start with the offensive line. Offensive line has to play better because they don't trust it to call plays downfield, and everything works off that from a trust standpoint. Hate to put it all on the big guys, but I think the offensive line has to play better before we start pointing fingers everywhere else. Everyone to blame to some degree. All right, let's some quick hitters. Gronk goes skydiving.
Okay. Well, I'm not surprised. Are you?
No, but, I mean, if you made it after 10, 12 years in the NFL, is skydiving your next thing?
I don't think so. I think Gronk continues to have – he lives the Gronk life.
He really does.
He has a good time.
It does
He's going to enjoy himself.
Earth got beat up when Gronk landed, though.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
great stories, Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs, unbelievable, man. I mean, they have to show him where the locker room is in Minnesota, and he's won 2 games in 12 days.
He said, I saw this week, he said, I promise I'll know all your names by the end of the week. He's the Pastronaut because that's his nickname. But what a great story. And by the way, the Vikings have won 5 in a row. They're 6-4.
Hey, the NFL loves this, by the way. I know it didn't happen Sunday in Jacksonville, but 5 field goals as time expired yesterday during the day. That is an NFL record on one Sunday.
Yeah, and that was impressive, and the kickers are better than ever. So if you can get in field goal position, you're going to win. And that's why I think Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down, because he didn't want to give the ball back to Herbert and let him go get a field goal to tie it.
Dan, you started this segment singing and then eating and then talking, and I think we're going to end this segment with you singing. Apparently, this is an ode to Dewey Winger.
I love Dewey, and so I want to do something special for Dewey, so I put this little ditty together, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's me at my best.
The Jags pick it off, and they're going to run it back. That is Dewey Winger, picked it off in the middle of the field.
I saw him standing on the sideline, that helmet filled with golden hair. I saw him swing that little towel. Looky there, looky there, looky there, looky there. He's Dewey. 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 It's great to see you playing so fine. I saw him stop for big short yardage. He made a pick the same game. Steeler fans were all left asking, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? It's Dewey. Yeah. Dewey. Better know that name. Dewey. It's great to see you playing so fine.
Hey, I'm waiting to see if we get a standing ovation for that or what? I mean, I was really watching Rayshawn and see if he's going to sign you to the label after that.
He might want me to rap with him.
You might have to negotiate.
I'm in.
After that performance. When we come back, we talk a little Jags defense and
more fries.
More fries for
so good.
We also talked to Doug Pederson coming up about the makeup of this football team. Right after this on Fox 30.
We have one. So good.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah and Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
You're just walking down an aisle or standing in line or whatever, and you just get a go Jags, or hey coach, or congrats on the season, and you get a little bit of dialogue. But the one I like is always the go Jags, because you might be walking out of the store, someone's coming in, and all they just say is go Jags or Duval.
Well, don't go to the store today, Doug. I'm not sure what they'd be saying. What happened? Welcome back to Sneakers in Jax Beach. Good to sit down with Doug Pederson last week, and this was like heading into the San Francisco game.
Happier times.
Yeah, happier times, but you can't replace the job he's done over the 2 years, right? Put him in this position. And part of it, we asked him about the locker room. We just asked Rayshawn a moment ago. It's a good locker room, a hardened locker room, and they always feel like they've got something to prove. How much do you think of what you have in that locker room right now is a lot of that? Guys that feel like they've got something to prove still.
I think there's a little bit of that. I think the guys do feel that there's a chip on their shoulder. I still feel like maybe the guys don't get the respect around the league or whatever that they maybe deserve, and that's okay. I mean, that's part of the game. You have to win consistently to earn the respect, right? That's just the way this league is, and our guys just the thing that I'm probably the most proud of our guys is just they don't worry about that stuff. They don't worry about the peripheral stuff outside the building. It's all focused on themselves, internal. How do we get better?
Your Tackle Tracker, sponsored by IHRS, tackling hair loss.
Here we are. He's over 100 now, Dan. Foye-Oluokun. It's the Foye-Oluokun segment, but Devin Lloyd had 10. I got beat on the touchdown by Kittle. I thought it was a veteran move by Kittle at the end of that play to get separation.
Yeah, it was a great play by Kittle, but I'm really happy how Devin Lloyd's playing in year two. I thought he's taking a big step forward, so I think those two linebackers are playing good football for this defense.
Yeah, all these things are hard coming out of yesterday's game. We get it, but a big picture, 6-3, the way things have developed for a guy like Devin Lloyd and some of the things the defense has done obviously don't go unnoticed. When we come back, hopefully Aspen had a good day.
We always
seem like anybody else did on Sunday. Nap time. How did pick time go? That's when we come back here on Jags Report Live. And thanks again to Rayshawn Jenkins. Man, he's still here. Yeah. We're going to get him home.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah and Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Hey, you got a sign. Yeah. Got the Rayshawn Jenkins jersey, and hey, everybody got a little something, I think, here today from number 2, Rayshawn Jenkins. And we appreciate him being here for Jags Report Live at Sneakers in Jax Beach. We appreciate you hanging out with us until 8 o'clock tonight, each and every Monday. Brent Martin along with Dan Hicken.
Yeah, it's time to let this show go to the dogs. You thought I went to the dogs earlier? Get ready, because it's time to Ask Aspen.
It's time for Ask Aspen, sponsored by Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic, the right choice for your next vehicle.
It's time to get up. The bye week's over. We gotta go back to making picks. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. All right, Aspen, you ready? Make your pick.
Oh, dear.
You have so many things in common with Aspen. We have to wake you up from a nap usually to work.
True.
And that howl sounds like you singing the Dewey song.
It kind of did. Here's the record.
Aspen's
record is about my record in picks. So
I forgot about that one.
We got a lot
more Aspen on Friday. Jags Social, our newest show on Action Sports Jax with Olivia Tassley, Chandler Morgan, 7:30 on Fox 30. Don't forget to watch the show on Friday.
All right, Titans hate week, man. Big game coming up against Tennessee at the bank on Sunday. We can make them all out to be big, but this is a big one, man. Jags got to find a way to get this one done, get to 7-3. You're 7-3 after 10 games. You're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, listen, I saw Duval Doom on Twitter say 24-hour rule is done after Jags Report Live, so we appreciate you watching.
Okay.
And now 24-hour rule is done. It's on to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I got a feeling we'll still complain about this one for a few more days, but the Jags are probably on to the Tennessee Titans. It's a huge couple weeks. I kind of like this. I think it refocuses the Jags now that Houston's playing well, and now you're going head-to-head with somebody with 8 games to play for a trip to the playoffs.
Got to get a win at the bank, too, man. Let's go.
Got to win at the bank. So
Yeah.
we'll see you Sunday at the bank, hopefully. And the Jaguars play the Titans, and then on the road against Houston, and then back home in December now for a couple of early primetime games in December. So we got a lot of good times still to come in that building.
Yes, sir.
We got to make it happen. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jags Report Live, Sneakers in Jax Beach. Thanks for Rayshawn Jenkins. Did he leave? I think he finally left.
Yeah.
He stayed all the way to the end of the show. That was good. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the week.
Watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.